As they approached the palace gates, CHIDIMMA felt a surge of determination. This was it, the moment of truth. She took a deep breath, squared her shoulders, and prepared to face the challenges that lay ahead. But even as they stepped through the gates, CHIDIMMA knew that this was only the beginning. The path to justice was long and winding, and there were still many obstacles to overcome. But with her father and him by her side, she knew they would find a way. The story was far from over, and CHIDIMMA was ready to continue the fight. CHIDIMMA's journey, the battle for truth. The grand palace of the kingdom stood tall and majestic, its golden walls shimmering in the morning sun. As CHIDIMMA, Nkem, and his Udo approached the entrance, they were met by a group of stern-faced guards. The guards eyed them suspiciously but recognized his Udo, one of the respected elders of Umidike. "What brings you to the palace, is Udo?" one of the guards asked. "We have urgent business with the king," is Udo replied firmly. "It concerns matters of great importance to the kingdom." The guard hesitated for a moment, then nodded and stepped aside, allowing them to pass. CHIDIMMA felt a knot of tension in her stomach as they walked through the grand halls of the palace. She had never been this close to power before, and the weight of what they were about to do pressed heavily on her shoulders. They were led to a large chamber, where the king held court. The room was filled with nobles, advisors, and other elders, all engaged in various discussions. At the far end of the room, seated on a grand throne, was King Obinna. He was a tall, regal man with a wise and commanding presence, his eyes sharp and observant. As they entered, all eyes turned to them. CHIDIMMA felt her heart race, but she held her head high, determined not to show fear. "Is Udo," King Obinna said, his voice deep and resonant. "What brings you to my court?" Is Udo stepped forward, bowing respectfully. "Your Majesty, I come with a grave matter that concerns the honor of my family and the well-being of our kingdom." The king's expression grew serious. "Speak, and we shall listen." Is Udo motioned for CHIDIMMA to step forward. She took a deep breath and held out the documents and evidence they had gathered. "Your Majesty," CHIDIMMA began, her voice steady despite the fear she felt, "my family has been the target of a cruel and unjust plot. My mother, Zora, has been falsely accused of crimes she did not commit, all as part of a scheme by Chief Okoye to seize our land and destroy our honor." The room fell silent as CHIDIMMA spoke, her words echoing off the walls. She handed the evidence to one of the king's advisors, who began to examine it closely. "We have gathered proof of Chief Okoye's plans," CHIDIMMA continued. "He has used his power and influence to spread lies and manipulate others, all for his own gain." There was a murmur of shock and disbelief among the gathered nobles. Chief Okoye was well known in the kingdom, and the accusations against him were serious. The king's eyes narrowed as he looked at CHIDIMMA. "These are heavy accusations, young one. Are you prepared to stand by them?" CHIDIMMA met the king's gaze, her voice unwavering. "Yes, Your Majesty. I stand by every word." At that moment, the large doors at the back of the chamber swung open, and Chief Okoye entered the room, flanked by several of his loyal followers. His eyes were cold as he surveyed the scene before him. "Your Majesty," Chief Okoye said with a bow, though his voice held a sharp edge, "I see you've been listening to the wild accusations of a girl desperate to save her disgraced family." King Obinna raised a hand to silence the murmurs that followed Chief Okoye's words. "Chief Okoye, this girl has presented serious evidence against you. Do you deny these claims?" Chief Okoye's eyes flicked to CHIDIMMA, a smirk playing on his lips. "These are nothing but fabrications, Your Majesty. A child's attempt to deflect the shame of her mother's crimes. Zora is an outsider, and her presence has always been a threat to our kingdom's peace." CHIDIMMA's hands clenched into fists, but she held her tongue, knowing this was not the time for anger. The king's advisor, who had been examining the evidence, stepped forward and whispered something in the king's ear. King Obina's expression grew more severe as he listened. Chief Okoye, the king said slowly, this evidence is compelling. It speaks of deceit and corruption. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Chief Okoye's smirk faltered for a moment, but he quickly regained his composure. Your Majesty, I have served this kingdom faithfully for many years. I only seek to protect it from those who would do it harm. And yet, the king continued, his voice growing colder, the evidence suggests that you have used your position to further your own interests at the expense of others. A tense silence filled the chamber as everyone waited for the king's judgment. Chief Okoye's face darkened, and he cast a venomous look at CHIDIMMA. Your Majesty, Chief Okoye said, his voice now laced with desperation, you mustn't listen to this girl. She is the daughter of an outsider, a woman who has brought nothing but trouble to our lands. If you allow these lies to take root, it will bring chaos to the kingdom. King Obina stood from his throne, his presence towering over the room. Enough, Chief Okoye. You have spoken, and now I will give my verdict. CHIDIMMA held her breath, praying that justice would prevail. The king turned to face CHIDIMMA and her father. Udo, your daughter has shown great courage in bringing this matter to light. The evidence she has presented cannot be ignored. Chief Okoye's face paled as the king continued. I have always sought to rule with fairness and justice. No one, not even a chief, is above the law. Chief Okoye, you are hereby stripped of your title and your lands. You will be placed under arrest and brought to trial for your crimes. A collective gasp filled the chamber. Chief Okoye's expression turned to one of fury and disbelief. You can't do this, he shouted, but the guards were already moving to seize him. CHIDIMMA watched as the once powerful chief was led away, his face twisted in rage and humiliation. She felt a wave of relief wash over her, but she knew this wasn't the end. There were still many questions left unanswered, and her mother's fate was still uncertain. As the guards took Chief Okoye away, King Obina turned back to CHIDIMMA. His expression softened slightly. You have done a great service to this kingdom, CHIDIMMA. Your bravery will not be forgotten. CHIDIMMA bowed her head, humbled by the king's words. Thank you, Your Majesty. I only wish to clear my mother's name and restore our family's honor. King Obina nodded. Your mother will be given a fair trial, with all the facts presented. If she is innocent, she will be freed, and her name will be cleared. Tears of gratitude filled CHIDIMMA's eyes. Thank you, Your Majesty. The king's gaze turned to Udo. Udo, you have raised a remarkable daughter. She will go far in this kingdom. Udo bowed deeply. Thank you, Your Majesty. She is my pride. With the king's promise of a fair trial for Zora, CHIDIMMA felt a weight lift off her shoulders. But as she left the palace with her father and Nkem, she knew there were still challenges ahead. Her mother's trial would be a pivotal moment, and there were still forces in the kingdom that might oppose them. But for now, CHIDIMMA allowed herself to hope. The truth was beginning to emerge, and with it, a chance for her family to rebuild their lives. As the days passed, preparations were made for Zora's trial. The news of Chief Okoye's arrest had spread throughout the kingdom, causing a stir among the people. Some were shocked by the revelations, while others were relieved that justice was being served. CHIDIMMA spent most of her time at home, supporting her father and preparing for the trial. She knew it would be a difficult battle, but she was determined to see it through. One evening, as CHIDIMMA sat by the fire, lost in thought, Nkem arrived at her compound. He had been busy gathering more information and ensuring that all the witnesses were ready to testify at the trial. CHIDIMMA, Nkem said, sitting down beside her, I've spoken to some of the villagers. They are starting to realize that Chief Okoye was the real threat, not your mother. CHIDIMMA smiled faintly. That's good to hear. I just hope the truth will be enough to clear her name. It will be, Nkem assured her. We've come too far to fail now. As they talked, the sound of footsteps approached, and Udo entered the room, his expression grave.